Hey, everybody, and welcome to Relationship Rhetoric. Let me take a breather. Just getting in, but it was very, very important for me to meet with this couple that I'm meeting with today because the whole premise of this show really started talking to couples, getting to know couples, hearing their love stories, providing examples of, great relationships. We know that relationships are work. We know that they come with a lot of effort and a lot of time. And these two, man, they are extremely creative on two different sides of the spectrum, but they always, seem to be on each other's team, and of course we don't know what goes on behind closed doors, and that's the purpose of relationship rhetoric. What do you do to make sure that when you're in the front of the eyes of other people that you're putting on not just a good face, but how you truly feel about each other? It's always about teamwork. It's always about making the home team look good. So I'm really excited to hear from them, hear their story, and hopefully provide some insight for some creative couples out there trying to get it done. So, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Erica and Roger. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for being flexible with me on today. I appreciate it. Girl, I was caught in a thunderstorm and I was like, okay, so either I'm going to survive and make it or I'm going to have an attitude. So I things I cannot control, I don't worry about.
Exactly. But you made it, and we're thankful. Thank you so much for having us.
Yes, definitely. I was waiting for the perfect opportunity to talk to you guys. And I think you all are going to be a great way to end the month of July for me. So I'm really excited to hear your story. So I'm going to talk to you first, Roger. Tell me where you were in your life before you met Erica.
I was at like a crossroad, so to speak. I was out of a bad relationship. I was in between jobs. I was unhappy. That was me in a nutshell. I mean, I remained creative through it all, but at the same time, I was going through a real crossroad. Like I was at that damn near 30 mark when I met her. So going into my 30s, looking back what I've accomplished, and I wasn't satisfied. I wasn't happy with what I was doing, and I know I need to change something. I didn't know the first thing that I was going to change, but I didn't know how I was going to go about doing it. But I knew that something had to change, something had to give, because I was doing the same thing and I needed different results. So around the time I made that decision, that was around the time I met her, and everything kind of took its course the way it needed to. I said it.
Okay. So Erica, what was going on with you?
I was single and I was happy. I had gotten to the point where, as a single person, it was like, oh, if you're always looking for somebody, you'll never find somebody. So I had reconciled in my head that, okay, I'm going to be happy being single. I'm going to live my life. I had lost my mom. So I was really still in the grieving process, and I wasn't looking for anything. I was flexing out here in the streets. I was doing my thing when I do my thing, but it wasn't anything that was like it. Nothing captured my heart. No one had my heart. So I was just kind of not looking. And initially, I didn't even see him like that. Like none of that was like that in the beginning. So when I initially met him, I met him through Hannah Franklin. And she introduced us because I was going to do another spoken word CD. And so that's how we became Facebook friends. And that's how we had our first communication. But it was over a year later that we actually hung out for the first time, which was on Valentine's Day. Ironically, Valentine's Day. And 6 months later, we were married.
Wait a minute. Okay, so we got to go back. So, Roger, you asked her, how did this Valentine's Day date come up?
It wasn't a date.
It wasn't a date. I was wilding out, and she kind of jacked me up a little bit, like, "What you doing?"
So
and,
he ain't gonna tell the story right. So he, again, like I said, we were friends on Facebook.
Okay.
I knew the only thing I knew he was in a relationship. Okay, stop that. I knew he was in a relationship. So he was making these posts, and he was doing it like all day long. He was like, I'm gonna go and take somebody's daughter out for Valentine's dinner. I'm about to go snatch up somebody's daughter. So me, being the mama bear, I inboxed him. I said, dude, why you being so disrespectful? Because I'm thinking he in this relationship and you making these posts. Mm-hmm. So he was like, I ain't in that relationship no more. And I was like, wait a minute, what? So legitimately, I'm like shocked because again, I'm thinking he in this relationship and he making these posts and they were constantly getting, to me, in my eyes, more disrespectful.
Okay.
Because I was like, okay, so you just wilding out on the internet. And at first I thought maybe he was hacked. And so when I inboxed him and he told me that the conversation kind of flowed. And so I was like, I ain't doing nothing. I'm finna order me some bonefish. He was like, I ain't finna do nothing. Let's hang out. I was like, okay, cool. So for me, it was just like, I wasn't thinking about him like that. I wasn't necessarily attracted to him. I wasn't looking at him in that manner. We just had started talking like the day before, a couple of days before Valentine's Day. So he ended up coming over with some wings and no, you didn't bring wings that time, did you?
That was the second time.
That was the second time. Okay. So he came over and he ate all my bang bang shrimp, girl.
Yeah.
I went to the bathroom and came back and this man done ate all my daggone shrimp. So I was like, damn, you owe me some shrimp.
She bought this for me. This is for me.
So he brought wine and wings the next day, which was Valentine's Day. Mm-hmm. And that really started our Valentine's Day tradition. So now every year on Valentine's Day, we have wings and wine.
Oh.
So but we still was like hanging out with he wasn't trying to hit on me. I wasn't trying to talk to him. Like we were just hanging out, having great conversation.
She kept me out of the streets.
It was easy. And I knew he didn't want nothing from me. Mm-hmm. Like most guys, when they get with you automatically know, ooh, he on hard, so I know what he want. Yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying? But with him, it was just like, man, we were just talking. We were just vibing. We was watching movies and hanging out. And one night we fell asleep watching movies. And I can't remember how far into us actually hanging out. It may have been like a couple of months, maybe a month or so into us hanging out. And we fell asleep on the couch and I woke up and he woke up at the same time. I swear to God, it sounded like a movie. And we was looking at each other and I was like, let me get my ass up. So it was like 2 a.m. You know what I'm saying? We had fallen asleep. So we were walking to the door and we looked at each other and next thing you know, we kissed and it was like, oh. Yeah.
I'm like, well, my single days are over.
What? I was just about to say, so Roger, what was going on in your head when all this eye gazing was going on?
That's what I said. Well, my single days are over.
Wow. Okay. So, out of that conversation, when y'all were sitting and talking, anything in particular stood out in your mind?
I just remember constantly asking him, like, because he was saying he wanted to be married. And with me being, so much older than him, I just kept.
So much.
I'm 9 years older than him.
A lot.
But in terms of like, I got a kid, you know what I'm saying? So yeah. I had experienced some things that he hadn't experienced yet. So I was just kind of like, you sure you want to be married? You young,
I was pushing 30.
You heard him pushing.
He's serious about that 30.
Girl, let me take a sip because he is not going to let that 30. Yes,
I was saying, I was pushing 30. I mean, a damn near 30-year-old saying he want to be married. I mean, that ain't unusual. I mean, I'm at a mature age where I know what I want, and I knew what I wanted. So,
but I just was kind of like, at your age, I was still out here wilding.
That's so you was wild. I wasn't wild like you. I was a saint.
Hey. And the silence fell. Okay.
And look, you dealing with 2 Libras.
Oh my goodness. His facial expressions are priceless.
Girl, it's gonna be screenshots for days.
Oh my God. Okay, so we've kissed. The fireworks are going. What's going on in your head now, Roger? Are you preparing yourself already? How am I gonna propose? What's happening next?
I cleared out my black book.
Okay.
I had to tell all my Johnson, like, look, I'm back saved.
What saint has junts? Okay.
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 I got a list of saints that got junts.
See what I'm saying?
Let's just keep it real. They all in church on Sundays. They got this.
Yeah.
You are a church musician.
Ooh.
And he's a drummer.
Ooh.
I'm just saying. Let's young trip and shame the devil.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So how did the proposal go?
She was
Why
cooking.
does everybody laugh?
Because everything about us is so non-traditional.
I love it.
Since I told this story, you tell this one.
She was cooking and we was in the kitchen one night. Was it at night or was it like afternoon?
It was like in the evening.
That was in the evening. And you know, I got compelled to just ask her just out the blue. You gonna marry me?
That's not what you said.
What'd I say?
I was holding the spatula. I was making hamburgers.
I said you was good.
And he grabbed my hand. He was like, let's just do this. And I'm like, the fuck is you talking about? Like, I'm cooking. We can do it later. Like, I'm thinking. He was like, no, let's just go and have a ceremony. And I was like, are you serious?
Were y'all staying together or he was just over for y'all were just kicking it?
He was just, he was just over there.
Wow.
And I was like, huh? Are you sure? I think I asked him for like a month. Was he sure he wanted to do that?
Change.
And he said yes. So I started planning. This was, maybe May.
Middle of April, beginning of May.
And so I started planning our ceremony and we were married August the 30th of that year.
Wow. What year was this?
2014.
Wow. Oh, wow. Okay. So since then, what would you say has been your major adjustment?
For me, it has been changing the I to a we. And I would have to say that it was difficult for me. I never depended on a man to do anything for me, protect me, pay bills, any of that. I did all of that on my own. I bought my first house in my 20s. I had my daughter. I was, I struggled. My mom helped, but having a man to depend on, I never had that. And so we had a couple years ago, again, this is recent stuff, me having to say, you know what? I fucked up. I not forgot you were here, but I've been like so used to doing A, B, and C by myself that I didn't come to you, and now I need your help. I apologize for excluding you, but I've gotten myself in a position that I can't get out of by myself.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was angry because he was like, why didn't you just come to me? Why didn't you say something? But I'm so used to handling issues that I didn't do that.
Right.
So, and that was almost 2 years ago. Now we went through some stuff. I got myself into some stupid stuff and was down, like falling. And he was like, baby, got this. What's this look for? Oh, he's still mad about it. And he came and he was like, he took care of it. It was difficult because not only did I have to humble myself, I had to let him do his thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's been, since then we have done better with communicating in that department. Communication has never been an issue for us except for that thing.
Okay.
letting that part go. So that was mine.
Okay. So just on that, Roger, how did you handle her trying to relinquish her independence? Did you go ahead and let her do it and just step back, or you just went with the flow of it?
I just went again. I give her ample space to do what she got to do, and me and her a lot alike, so I already knew what the outcome was going to be. I didn't pressure her. I said when the time is right, she gonna let me do my thing, and that's what happened. I mean, I already know how she is. I've been with her too long, so
Nice.
that's how I approach it.
And he does not seem like the type of person to be like, you should have let me handle it in the first place.
He did not say that. He didn't say, his main thing was, babe, why you didn't say nothing?
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Why, I would never let you struggle or let you go through this by yourself. Why didn't you say anything? So he was upset with that. But after he expressed how he felt about it and he let me know, hey, I don't care what it is, come to me and we'll figure this out. And he went on and took it. It was just like, okay, I had to, it took several months, maybe 6 months, that I had to just lean on him. Like I couldn't do it. It was nothing I could do. He had to help. He had to do it. He had to pull me. He had to drag me. Wow. And I had never had that. And it really taught me something. It really taught me, number one, that this man is here for me.
Yeah.
And I've never had that before. Yeah. I've always had men and even friends to be there because of what I can give them.
Right.
And at this moment, he showed me that, hey, I got you. I promise you. You could be falling. I'm going to catch you. So.
These faces.
I knew then, like, I knew then that he was for me, that he really, truly, you know what I'm saying, loved me. So,
yeah. Roger, what's been your adjustment?
Throughout my years of, living, I always felt like the things I did went underappreciated. I've always struggled with it, and to have a spouse to just really appreciate what you do, not because, it's your obligation, but aside from that, just to really appreciate the things you do, whether they be big or small, that really opened me up to a lot of stuff as well. Because again, I always had that issue, whereas people felt that I was obligated to do certain stuff because I was in a certain place or because I was in a relationship. I'm obligated to do this, and all that did was, for the most part, run me away. And for me to be where I am now, and for her to appreciate even small stuff I do, for her to just be genuinely appreciative of that, it makes me want to do more. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I am with that.
Very nice. Very nice. Okay. So Erica, tell us about your business.
Ooh, I have several. Mainly I am a fashion inspired portrait photographer. Mm-hmm. I am a clothing designer. I get to say that and mean it. I am a designer. I am also an artist. So I take my photography and I spin it and I turn it into digital art for home decor. Oh, wow. So that has been really successful for me. It's been a really awesome outlet for me to be able to bring my dreams to fruition. It's something that I've always wanted to do, and I didn't really know how to do it. So I played around and figured it out for myself. That has been the most beautiful journey about my business since the pandemic, has been the flex that it gave me. And I'm very thankful for that. Although it was a really difficult time for the economy, difficult time for a lot of people, and it was an adjustment, the clarity that it gave me on who I am.
Yeah.
And I prayed before, like years before, the one thing that I wanted was my time. And I said, I don't, having money is great. Yeah. So, winning the lottery would be awesome. But I I knew in my heart that my time was more valuable than that. So that's what I asked for, and that's what the pandemic gave me. And so during the pandemic is when I started my Wanchi Wear t-shirt line, is where I started the actual process of branding Wanchi Wear, is where I started the Goddess Home collection, is where I've, developed all these ideas that I've had. So it's been great. And I don't know what's to come. I mean, I've been mixing drinks. He been mixing drinks. So it may be something on the horizon with that. I feel a business with that. Yeah. Look at him, ready. So I think we're finding our flow together as a couple. And we've talked about for a long time. People always say, oh man, y'all videos and stuff be so funny, and y'all interaction, y'all need a TV show. I was like, well, it's gotta be a way that we can, as a couple, come up with something that, is dope for us together, in addition to our individual businesses and passions. So it's been pretty dope, I must say.
Nice. I'm impressed. Roger, talk to us about your business, your creative juices.
Well, it's this guy named King Pan, the composer. He's a funny looking guy, but he makes some pretty dope beats.
Okay.
He fine to me.
He's a funny looking guy. He cold in beats though. So, he's been at it for about 10 years now. In addition to that, just constantly working on projects. Got some new projects out that's on the horizon that I can speak about. We're just working on it. Aside from that, I started Let's Get Loud. It's pretty much a producer battle beat showcase we started back in 2017. And it's been doing well. We just did Nashville about a month ago. We're planning Atlanta late October. We have an event coming up on the 12th of this month. So we've been working on that. Aside from that, Steak Sauce is another brand that we're working on alongside myself, Sonny Dizzle, LJ1S, production team. We've completed 4 projects already within the span of 5 years. So we're just building those brands and taking those as far as we can take them. Just start back traveling, more music, more traveling, more networking. I ain't gonna lie, last year we seen some major improvements even through COVID. With the networking and with the projects we did. A project we did last year, Molotov, is still doing well.
Yes.
300 Entertainment picked up a single. We had a single deal with them, and the play is still rolling in. Traction is still being made, and we're making some great progress. I don't talk about it like I'm supposed to, and she gets on my case about that. But sometimes I have to stop and pat myself on the back. Like, good job.
Yeah.
It just is great. And I'm just looking forward to what the future holds. Bringing my sound and just me as a person.
So is there ever a point, because again, you all are extremely creative people, just listening to you, you don't just have one project or one business. Is it ever a point when that just becomes overwhelming for you too?
I can't say it becomes overwhelming. She'll start scatterbraining before I do, but I have to give her moral support versus me per se, because I'm used to it, meeting deadlines and coming up with something last minute right in the nick of time. Like I've just really grown immune to it. Like sometimes I do stress because my creativity and my creative juices don't flow like I want them to at certain given times. But I just learned to just really just chill out. It'll come to me when it comes to me.
Yeah.
She would stress out, and I would have to talk to her like, "Calm down. You got time." I can't do this. Calm down.
So he's the cool Libra, and I'm the Libra. But he's because he's so chill.
Mm-hmm.
Him like being the way he is kind of mellowed me out.
Okay.
He kind of like, it was almost like a forced thing. Like I never forget, like when we first started living together, he would be like, it's time to go to bed. And I'm like, but I'm working on pictures. And he was like, it's time to take your ass to sleep. And at first I was like, he got to be crazy as hell. Think I'm finna go to bed because he finna go to bed. Like, that ain't got nothing to do with me. And
because you were tired.
And see, that was his self-care for me. I didn't realize it at first. I did it because I loved him. And I was like, okay, we going to bed. Ha, ha, ha. And so it forced me to find ways to stop overworking myself. Because I'm like, okay, my husband wants to go to bed at a certain time. So that means I need to figure out a way how to get my work done and take things off my plate. And I didn't realize how much rest I was missing. I didn't realize how exhausted I was. I didn't realize how taxing it was. But the moment I started doing that, I realized, shoot, I like cutting off work at a certain time. I like going to bed. I like not being tired. So that forced me to have to change some business processes. And I don't regret it at all. Like now, we got our grooves. A lot of times I'll still be working and he'll go ahead and go to bed because he knows that whatever it is that I'm doing, it's important and it has to be done. But the fact that he had to set the tone for that, like it helped our intimacy as well, because it was like, okay, we got to cut our day off with everybody else off at some point. And then I didn't realize what that was. I just thought he was trying to control me. So realizing that that's what it was without saying it, because of course he a Libra. He's not going to say, babe, this is what I'm trying to do. I want us to spend quality time together. He just says stuff like, we finna go to bed. And I was supposed to understand that's what they were. So now that I know that's what it was, then I appreciate that directive more. It's like, okay, even if we just watching a movie, if we're just cuddling or I'm watching TV and he got his hand on my butt and he goes to sleep. Like, to me, like, I look for those times. Those are like awesome times that we can spend together, whether we're meditating or whatever it is. Like it really set the tone for how I run my business now. I cut off. At first, I was working myself to the bone, so he taught me something.
Because your eyes are bloodshot red a lot of them nights. You need to take your ass sleep. Trying to edit photos. You can't be doing it.
Well, I'm glad you listened, sis.
I did.
I'm glad you listened.
I'm too cute to have red eyes.
You hear me. Okay, so Roger, though, on the other end, what lesson have you learned from Erica? What has she poured into your life that you now use and you see is for the betterment of you?
To be patient with me. To be patient with myself and to really just reassure myself that it's not too late and I'm not too old to do it at a high level. And when I met her, before I met her, I was questioning it because I was in my late 20s, still trying to get on, whatever that meant, and really wasn't working out the way I thought it was working out. And I ain't gonna lie, it really put a damper on my creativity because a lot of times I felt like I was forcing it because I felt as though the time was running out. Like, hey, the clock getting short. But being with her reassured me that I still have a lot of time and a lot of shelf life left. So I took those lessons that she taught me and I still take them with me now. And I know I still got 50 years left of music in me. So
that's what I'm talking about. Come on, Quincy Jones Jr.
Roger, how old are you? Because you are really a stickler on this age and this time thing. How old are you?
I'll be 36 in October.
Get out of here.
He's a whippersnapper.
Okay. Wow. But I do get it. In the music world, age is a little different. Age is a little different.
Especially when you do certain genres of music, the standard, which is crazy as hell to me. If you're a certain age, you're too old. That's not even across the board on all genres because it's country musicians, 113, still touring the world and making albums and making music.
Right.
I feel as though it's crazy to put an age cap on creativity, regardless of what genre of music you do. That's crazy as hell.
Gotcha. Okay. So let's backtrack a little bit. Let's talk about when your daughter first met him or realized that you all were serious? How was that encounter? Because I so love her.
Well, actually, Kyla is the one that told us that we were in love.
Really?
Before the kiss, before any of that. And I was like, what? She said, y'all in love. I said, no, I don't even like him like that. She was like, well, if you don't, you will, because he loved you. And I was like, what? I said, look, girl, sit down somewhere. And little did we know, out of the mouths of babes.
Ain't that something?
She liked him from the jump. She was like, Mama, he just keep feeding us and why he keep bringing us wings and why he keep coming over and bringing us wings? Because that's all he would bring over there. Like during when the weekend time come, he would come over there with a stack of wings and we would watch movies. And Kyla was like, he would always call, what Kyla want? He'll go get whatever she want. And so she liked him. But I think because she really didn't have a constant male figure in her life as far as I was concerned, and then the ones that she does remember, they weren't positive and they weren't, they weren't good for me and we weren't good together. So she saw a little toxicity when it came to that. But with him, she felt like, okay, this feels a little different. You know what I'm saying? She couldn't really tell why it felt different, but it did. And they had their head bumping because again, she's not used to that.
Right.
So when he would say something to her, she would be like immediately like, what's happening? And, who he talking to and things like that. So I had to kind of, tell him how to say things to her and how to, maneuver. So we had a bumpy little couple of months. But once we got to the point where he said, let's do this, they worked it out. They loved each other. Of course, she's a teenager, so they had their normal ups and downs. But Kyla would beat somebody's ass about Roger. You know what I'm saying? She loved him, like love. And she's never had a relationship with her real dad. She communicates with him now, but she's an adult. So, she never had that guidance. So he loves her, and he still, again, because he doesn't have any biological children, he has had to learn how to be a daddy on the fly.
Wow.
And learn how to be a daddy to a child who was a little older than, you know what I'm saying? Kyla was already forming who she was. So you done came in here and disrupted her teenage flow and her hissy fits and her pouting. And, he done had to come into the situation, I think early in the beginning, and save her from getting stomped through the door, so I mean, yeah, I said.
Okay, Roger. So give your perspective, because that's a sensitive. It's a lot of our viewers who have children, and then we have a blended relationship. So you being the male coming in, because it really was them, and you entered in. What was your perspective on that?
Well, I came into it. I didn't have this mindset of trying to overrule Kai. I kind of want to see where her head was and, give her space and just be moral support for her. Like I wasn't just trying to be all parental with her. No, that wasn't my ministry at all. And it's still not, because, I came in, she was already a teenager. So I'm just going to tell you what I know, whatever you need to talk to me about something. I mean, I just kept an open door policy with her, because with my younger sister, her male figure wasn't around. Her, my dad, her dad and my mom, they broke up, and it was just me, her, and my mom. So, and I had her from when she was little into a teenager. So I kind of, I knew the ropes a little bit to not necessarily handle teenage girls, but kind of keep an open door policy for them, because I do the same for my little sister. So
okay.
It was a familiar place for me, because again, from the time, like when my little sister was like 5 up until 18, that was my baby. So
wow. Okay.
Now that was just another trip around the block for me. So
okay, well, that's a blessing.
Same thing that I did with my little sister Kai, and it worked, and she's doing well.
Nice, very nice. What is you all's most memorable date?
Most memorable.
You got a lot of dates.
I would say for me, it probably was one of the first times we got to get up and dress up and go. And it was memorable because we were overdressed. It was an award show, a music award show here in Memphis, and he was nominated. So I mean, I like clothes and fashion, so I was like, oh, I can wear this, I can put this on. So
City.
yeah,
Trap
so he had on a
City.
suit. He had we looked great, and we got down there, and like you said, it was Trap City.
When you dress for the Grammys, but end up at the Source Awards. I mean, there's no other explanation or description for that. Like, you dress for the Grammys, dress for the Oscars, but we end up at the Source Awards.
Yeah, it was interesting to say the least. It was interesting, but it was memorable because of that. Like, we were like, and it stunk. It was at the New Daisy.
Yes.
Oh, it smells so bad.
It smelled like blunts and struggle in that room.
Blunts and struggle.
Girl,
Blunts and broke rappers, boy.
And then when we got there, like something happened, or they had already given you the award away or something, whatever it was. I was like, I'm ready to go. Like, we can go. Like, literally, people had on jerseys. The girls had on like their coochie outfits. Like, it was like Video Vixen Award of the Year or something. I don't know. But I had on like an evening gown. So I was ready to go. But we've had a lot of great dates, and dates meaning time spent together, doing new things together, whether he's introducing me to something or I'm introducing him to something. So, I mean, I could say all of our dates have been, memorable, whether it was, me forcing him to eat sushi for the first time. And now we get raw stuff now. At first he was like, I don't want that. And now he, placing sushi orders, and I'll be like, baby, what the hell is this? He was like, just taste it.
It's
just put
eel.
Yeah,
it's just barbecue eel. Taste it.
So now he's like that. So I think every date that we spend together is memorable because we get to create dope ass memories and we get to spend time with each other. So I think that's awesome.
That is awesome. That is
so cute.
Y'all are so cute. Oh my God. All right. Tell me a ritual that is, other than going to bed together, trying to anyway, that you all practice together. You try to do every day together.
Doing something creative, whether it be, a lot of days I don't even make a beat, but I just go up there and just be in the atmosphere just to soak it in. And
oh wow,
we kind of tell her the same thing. Like, you ain't just necessarily have to edit some stuff, but just do some, just do something within your element, whether it's just looking up an editorial or something. I mean, is that what you call it?
Yeah.
But anyway, doing something creative, just taking time out your day to do something creative. I mean, it can be from 2 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever. Just dedicating some time to do that every day.
I got one better than that.
Okay.
We make up songs every day. And
really?
Yeah. And and we laugh every day.
Yeah.
And that's that was so big to me in a relationship. Like, having somebody who, like, previous guys was always trying to change me. Make me into being something else. You wanted, you want to smoke weed, but you want a church woman. You want, you want to freak in the streets, but you don't want me to have my titties out when we in public. Like, or you good, but you snore. I had a guy to tell me no man will want me because I snore. So getting with him, it was so, he was dumb. Like, it was so easy. And we laugh every single day. Like, it's always something. Like, years ago, like, we made up a song and we still sing it to this day. Because he would go to the bathroom when we lived in Raleigh, and he would never close the damn door. And so I would be sitting there and I could hear this loud stream of peeing And so we made up this song called "Pissing with the Door Open."
I want to hear it. You should have brought it up.
Pissing with the door open. Pissing with the door. Pissing with the door. Pissing with the door open. Pissing with the door. Pissing with the door. Pit.
Yeah, I love
So now, anytime somebody's using the bathroom, and normally it's not him anymore, it's me. I go in there and I
don't stay open when you go to the restroom.
So that was our thing. We would make up a song wherever we went. It could be a word. It could be anything. Like, we'll make up a song.
We still working on Bounce That Ass for Jesus, though. We still working on that.
Yeah.
Let me know when that one drops. Let me know.
We're still working on Bounce That Ass for Jesus.
I can't wait.
That's going to be, we're going platinum.
I can't believe you told him that.
Bounce That Ass for Jesus.
And I forgot, Erica, you have a beautiful voice.
Thank you.
Oh my God, look at you. Ain't no telling what's going to be coming out of you next.
You know what?
Composing and everything.
I read Shonda Rhimes' book. And ever since then, I told myself that I'm going to do every single thing that I have wanted to do.
Yes.
I'm not going to let age be my ceiling. I'm not going to let being on my sorry job for 19 years be my ceiling. I'm not going to let lack of immediate funds be my ceiling. I'm going to do it all, and I don't care what anybody thinks anymore. I used to care a lot about what people think, and I don't give a damn anymore. I'm just going to do it all. Whether I did my t-shirt line, I'm doing photography, I'm raising my prices on that, I'm designing, I'm doing all these things. I'm waiting on him to give me a track because I'm going to be featured on the next Molotov.
What? Yes. Oh, I love it. So even with that, because what it shows me is that you all fuel each other. You all had your individual flames and you continue to fan each other's flames, which is beautiful. So give advice. I want both perspectives to a couple. Our Memphis bubble is about this big.
Right.
It's a lot of creatives that are in relationships thinking about getting married. How do you approach the situation and make it work?
For me, I would say be your spouse's biggest cheerleader.
Yeah.
Keep them lifted, because the creative sex can be difficult, because when we expel our creative energy, that's our baby. Yeah. We care about it. We love it. We care about how others feel about it. I don't care how, we like, oh, I'm creative, I'm gonna do what I want to do, and I don't care what you think. Yes, we do. We want you to love it as much as we do. So you need support to be able to keep going, especially when people don't love your baby like you love your baby. So I'm his hype woman. While he has our whole house sounding like, a whole studio, I'm down here making up, we rocking, we get it. I'm hyping. That's my job. My job is to lift him and to let him know that he can do whatever the hell he want to do. And I'm going to ride for him. So whatever that is, I'm going to do what I got to do. Just like he did for me when I needed somebody in my corner. So that's my advice for any creative couple, is to be that person's biggest cheerleader and biggest supporter.
Yes. Roger. Oh, y'all.
For me is give your spouse room to grow. When she plants a seed, help her water the seed. Don't try to make the seed into a hybrid seed to grow something else and having her grow in your shadow. No, room to grow and to hone in onto what they're trying to do. Don't smother them. You know what I'm saying? Don't smother them. Don't change them. Allow them to spread their wings and just be there for support. That's pretty much it. Like when she started our ventures, I was right there for moral support. And now that she's evolving, I understand as a spouse, I have to evolve with her. Evolve with your spouse, give your spouse space to spread their wings, because when they start growing, they got to move to a bigger room. So you got to move to a bigger room.
Yeah.
And before you know it, them rooms then got too small. You got to sit your spouse into a stadium so they can just spread as far as they need to.
Come on, stadium.
He stay hyping me up, man. I love it. I love
it. To be creative and walk into their creativity. When they evolve, you evolve with them, and don't stop dating your spouse.
Yes.
A lot of people get married and they just got an ass. Like, no, you have to continue to do the things that you did when you got her, when you got him. So always take out on a date, keep it spontaneous, keep the fire there, and grow with your spouse, evolve with your spouse, and you'll be good.
Yes. Oh God, thank y'all. Oh my goodness. Y'all are so amazing. The one thing, even though everything you all said was so beautiful, how you all look at each other is so beautiful. Even in the giggles and the smiles, you can see the love and how you look at each other when each other is speaking. And that is, I'm so happy for y'all. I really am. I cannot wait. What'd you say?
So I love this dog joker.
Come on.
He used to tell people that he didn't smile, and he didn't. Like, if you look at his Facebook page and any pictures that he has before we got together, he mean mugged in every picture. Wow. And we got together and he hated taking pictures. Like, I have a phone full of selfies that we took when we first started dating. He would have never. I don't even remember seeing any pictures of him and his ex. Like, none of them. Right. But I be like, yesterday I was like, babe, come take a selfie with me. He started smiling before he got to me.
Yeah.
That was this morning.
Yes. Well, you are truly an inspiration.
Thank you.
Life is what you make it, and you all are definitely an example that you are putting in the work to make what, like I said, this is a lifestyle for you guys, and I love it. I can feel it through the screen, and that means the world to me. So y'all, when y'all see them on Instagram, this is who they truly are. They're not saying that life ain't difficult, but they are putting in the work to make a beautiful life and a beautiful legacy of love, guys. I appreciate you so much for sharing.
Thank you for having us.
Man, this was awesome. Enjoy the rest of your night. I'm going to send this to you. Share it. Your love deserves to be seen. For real. Thank y'all.
All right. Bye. Good night.
Good night. I love it. They were so refreshing to single people like me, because that means it's worth waiting for. Stop rushing yourself. Continue. Let your seed grow. Nurture your seed until the right fit comes along. Erica said she was happy. She wasn't even looking for anyone. He was working on himself, feeling in a dark place, and then they came together, and look at them now. The way that they look at each other is priceless. So again, guys, I'm so grateful for you all sharing your beauty and sharing your energy with me. Guys, thank you, all of you, for watching. Please tune in next week. God only knows who we're going to see next week, but this was a great way to end the month of July. Peace, love, and legacy. Have a wonderful week, guys.